Now I'm going to give you the proof of why this cycle is somehow the same. But it also, somehow, we might really be talking about a super cycle. Friends, we need to talk. This video is long overdue. One side is already shouting that the bull run is over and everything is so sad. The others are saying it hasn't even started yet. Yeah, guys, what's actually going on now? For all the Ripple fans out there who are thinking right now, I don't care, I'm all in on Ripple, so of course I have an update for that today. And I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do and give you the blueprint for it, so you don't lose. In that sense, I won't keep you in suspense any longer. We'll see each other after the intro. Before we dive in, you might be thinking, hey, there are a lot of people out there watching the videos and they haven't even subscribed. On one hand, it's free and it doesn't take much of your time. So it's a win-win situation. I would be really happy about that, and let's be honest, it would also bring you a bit more value. And if you really like the video, man, then you can also leave a quick like. That also boosts the algorithm. Thank you already. Today's video is brought to you by BitMEX with over 30 crypto. Can you trade? And if you want to secure a €25 bonus right now, then check out the description. Here's the registration link. Let's quickly start with the heat map. And you can see here, well, not really. There's no direction in that right now. Half green, the other half red. Bitcoin is just bouncing up and down. I'll explain to you exactly in the video why that is and what benefits you can draw from it. That's the important part, but if you take a look at it now, ADA, Solana, and even XRP are relatively thin. Okay, Ethereum, it feels like it hasn't really existed in this bull run at all. But like I said, there's really no solid green line in there. However, you can definitely say that there are always coins and tokens out there that pump significantly. And I want to give you two examples because there are so many out there, especially in the Twitter cosmos or X, where big predictions are being made. Yes, I turned $10 into $10,000, and it's totally crazy. But of course, I'm not going to tell you which tokens and coins. Yes, we are for transparency, or rather I am, so let me speak very transparently here. Last night, sometime around 10:45, clock, something like that, I found this thing here. And if you take a look here, yeah. I mean, it's always around 7x. You can definitely do that. And that within a day, mind you. Of course, it's completely high risk. So please be realistic. The market cap back then was 40K yesterday. Now it's at 303K. But here's another example. And I even talked about it in YouTube videos. I would have to go way back into the past. It must have been around the 10th or 11th. It must have been in November. Let's see if we can even go that far back. So we are being realistic. Yes, let's say here. Now let's go in there and take a look. And wow, 1750% current status. If we were to go back up to the peak here, it would look completely different again. So it is definitely happening, and there are definitely opportunities to make good money, especially in this space. By the way, if you're interested in that kind of context, you can also read everything in the group. This is definitely not a fake story I'm telling here. Just to clarify, 10 times is really crazy here and thousands of X and so on. No, these are real people, and there's real money who have made a lot of money with it. And if you're interested in that too, I have, besides the community group where everyone is allowed to exchange ideas, on Telegram, link in the description, there's now Uptrend Trading. And this trading group includes, among other things, these coin tips. Also current market updates and what's happening here. In the space, things are happening, but primarily the coin tips or sometimes bonuses with exchanges, with projects and so on. So if you're interested in that, you can just join for free down here. But let's move on directly to Bitcoin. You can almost feel that bearish mood coming back when you get news like that. Just before Donald Trump's inauguration, like the US government has now received approval. Just about 70,000 to sell Bitcoin, and they come from the legal dispute with Silk Road. Who doesn't know what Silk Road is? Feel free to look it up. That was an online drug marketplace, and you paid with Bitcoin. Sure, that's why there's Mika now to address the whole issue around black money and terrorism. No, that wasn't terrorism. Well, for sure, we definitely need to put a stop to drugs. By the way, for those who don't know what MiCA is and what's going on with it, I talked about it again yesterday. Because MiCA is one thing, that's totally fine. That's how it is. EU area. However, everything that concerns the travel rule. This is a global issue. I would click in here. You definitely need to engage with this topic. Anyway, what the Handelsblatt and everyone else seem to forget to mention a bit here is the fact that I am personally very, very sure that if there is a sale of these BTCs, it will happen OTC. By the way, that's the same as with spot ETFs, because that's also the reason why, okay, in this case, there were outflows, but we want to see here what has all flowed in on the plus side. Then we can also be down for a couple of days. Because, of course, the professional traders are kind of hitting the brakes right now and just waiting for a bit. What's going to happen exactly now that Trump is in office? So is everything really going to go all futuristic and crazy now? Or will it maybe go differently? However, I must also say here, the Bitcoin spot ETFs also operate OTC, so that means they won't be traded on a central exchange, for example, which would then pull the price along. It's kind of logical, isn't it? So if a 300,000 volume flows in quickly per day, well, you would definitely have to notice that a bit more strongly. And that's exactly how it will be. Possibly also with these Bitcoin holdings, the only thing you can really say is, sure, if they are sold off, and Trump is now managing to ensure that only the holdings of the US government are kept. So in the end, it's of course less. Of course, because those things have already been sold. Even dear Gary Gensler couldn't resist making his probably last official appearance at Bloomberg. To really go hard against crypto, I can tell you at this point, these almost 11 minutes are, I don't think, quite the lifespan. Value. What is quite interesting, however, is that no statements were made at first regarding the lawsuit with Ripple. So all the XRP fans should really pay attention now, because maybe there really won't be any more objections now, because this appeal has to be done by the 15th. January, exactly. Unless, of course, he allows himself to have some fun and brings it out exactly on the 14th. We'll have to wait and see. All in all, even if this objection should come, it's just very realistic. Even if he insists and says, yes, a lot still needs to be done. Well, if Atkins really does it, I recently talked about how he ticks, etc. Feel free to click in here. Then I seriously doubt that anything significant will happen in that direction. Peter Schiff couldn't resist taking another shot at Bitcoin. Yeah, friends, that's nothing new at this point. He says, hold on, yeah, if it turns out that everyone only invested in Bitcoin, because the US government wants to set aside the reserves here, but it won't happen, then they'll all sell, and then MicroStrategy will be put in a tight spot. Get put in a bind, and then things can get really crazy. Yeah, this bet with Michael Saylor, I don't want to say it so quite loud, but, well, the thing is just, if the price drops too much, then the strategy can really start to wobble. So, for once, I agree with him, but I still don't believe that suddenly everyone will say, yeah, I'm out of Bitcoin. By the way, if you're interested in this bet, feel free to click in here, but it's about to get even cooler. Because now it could even happen that Elon Musk himself just hits the brakes on the price. And all the excitement in crypto, why is that? Well, he has a new government, this Dodge, which we've all heard about recently. And he's planning to curb some pointless government spending in the US. By the way, cool topic at this point. He could just continue that in Germany. But, okay, in any case, he will logically curb the inflation of the dollar. And then, so he didn't say that no one is going into crypto anymore. However, it is realistic. When, of course, the inflation of the dollar is curbed, that then less goes into Bitcoin, or in general, it flows back into crypto. However, one should also say at this point, when this pump comes, as everyone hopes, around Donald Trump, well, then that's probably the case. Manageable compared to what's rolling into the market. So much for the news. Now let's talk about the topic, what should you actually do? As retail investors, how should we react properly? What you can see here, that's the Fear and Greed Index. First of all, I'll give you the tip, keep that on your radar. That thing can really secure you a lot of cash. Now it's getting interesting. And I actually wanted to show it to you neutrally, because yesterday this value was at 50. Now it's back at 69. So what you can learn from this is that nobody really knows right now, am I neutral now? Am I a bit scared? Or am I just greedy? Well, how does it look for tomorrow again? And you just can't forget that at this point, that there's just the wildest confusion right now, because we are all used to it. Bull run, bang, 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 and we're at an all-time high. Altcoin season, everything is hunky-dory, and then we just go back into a bear market, and then return, repeat, and it all starts over again. Yeah, it's somehow different today. And before you hit the button hysterically, wait, especially for what I'm about to tell you. Yeah, cycle, now. And this time it feels different, much more stretched out. Feels different, much more stretched out. Yes, I'll tell you the reason for that in just a moment. By the way, Crypto Wolf made a pretty cool video about that too. Definitely check out his channel. Anyway, what I can tell you here is that based on this P-cycle indicator, we are definitely not at the end of the bull run yet. That's actually the reason why many expect Bitcoin to peak at around 120, 130K. Theoretically, according to this indicator, it should still go up. Go much higher because we always had one here. There you saw it, the crossing of the lines. And that was basically the top of Bitcoin, or rather, that was the moment when you should have sold at the latest. That was the case here in 2011, and then it continued here. In 2014, we had this crossover again. We had it here in 2018, and then again in 21. What looks so diligently here is our last bull run. And now take a look. Let's zoom in a bit here. What's going on here? And the two lines, so friends, they are still quite far apart. And what can also be said here, if you take a look at this, especially with this massive increase, the red line has actually gone up even further. So that doesn't just mean only. The yellow line needs to reach the value of the red one. But the red one will tendentially, if Bitcoin gains again now, it will go up further here, and then the yellow one will follow. And that's how this forecast of 120, 130K comes about. Will it really happen like that? Hey, no one can say. However, you can definitely take away from this that we definitely haven't reached the top yet, at least according to this indicator, before all the Ripple fans fall asleep and say, that's just Bitcoin. No, now we're going to take a short break and I'll tell you a bit. What's going on with XRP? Because it's getting interesting there too. You can see the chart here. I've had this triangle in the mix quite a few times now, but a real breakout? So there hasn't been any movement up or down yet. Of course, it would still be tendentially possible that we might end up somewhere around $2 just below that. Of course, theoretically, it could go lower, but it really depends on how things progress from here. Okay, according to the RSI, it's already quite high, but not at the highest point. So like here, for example, where it went down, but he's already, let's say, more in the middle range. I don't want to ruin your weekend. In any case, you could assume that maybe there will be a pullback here, but all in all, could it get exciting right now? Because we're basically right at the core of this line, and it could definitely continue to go up from here. And the 15th? January isn't far off, for example. The 20th? It's not far off anymore. A little further, but let's just wait and see. And now I'm going to give you the proof of why this cycle. Somehow the same, but also somehow different. So, let's take a look here. We have an incredible amount of sideways movements here. So here we have 101 days, and then we were at 230 days. Right now, it feels like we're just going up and down, always hovering around plus or minus, let's say, 90 and 105,000. Also trapped again for 55 days. And it feels like nothing is happening. That's frustrating because the average retail crypto investor who has no clue about the subject, I mean, not you, the one watching this video, that's clear because you know your stuff. But everyone else who doesn't watch the video and just jumps into the market because it's going up. And I've learned that it looks like this. Yeah, they quickly lose interest. Or, in the best case, they'll get liquidated quickly. And then they start crying really hard and say, everyone, so stupid. By the way, the RSI, I'll move it over so you can see it too. It looks pretty strong. Because it's definitely quite low, so this could also be an indication that it's going up, but I'll give you another one right away. Definitely when you compare this with the last bull run, you notice that this thing is pumping up. It had a brief pullback. It keeps pumping. There's basically no end to the pumping, like in the gym. And then, bam, it goes down. Then one last push up. Bam, 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 and we'll run over. Yeah, it's kind of different now. But why is that? So if you've been paying attention, you should first see here that we're really way above it as far as liquidity alone is concerned. We're in a completely different market size than in 2021. Just mentioned in passing at this point, I saw such a cool meme about that yesterday. If I find it, I'll show it to you. In 2024, EY, everyone was cheering when it hit 2 UH when it hit EY in 2024. Everyone was cheering when Bitcoin reached 90K. And now it's like, well, but okay, definitely. Can we say that here? These cycles are stretched, but why is that? And here we come back to the average crypto investor. So, not you, the one watching the videos. I've already mentioned that without repeating myself. Or you follow a few other YouTubers, but the one who just says, yeah, crypto, I can make money really quickly and easily. And that with raising the position. By the way, just a side note, if you still haven't hit the like button but are still with us, then feel free to leave a like. In any case, you see the whole thing relatively simply here, or rather, not here. Let's zoom out a bit here. Then you should be able to see that even more clearly. Basically, they're just playing ping pong liquidation with the retail investors. How does that work? Well, so we first have a massive increase here. That means many are saying, wow, bull run, wow, 120K. I'm going to go in nice and leveraged into the market, and bam, we're going into a nice sideways movement. The retail investor still doesn't really know what's going on right now. Of course, they don't follow any news because with Bitcoin, it can only go up right now. And then the trend reversal happens and the market makers have made a few million billions here again, and bam, it's all out. And the retailers are gone. And bam, it's all out. And the retailers are gone. But now there are those here that you see here. Oh, wait a minute, I can go in the other direction. So I'm going short. Boom, we're setting the short positions here. By the way, that's the reason why you see such a wall of liquidity here. And it continues beautifully down. Of course, everything is always ultra leveraged. That's really, really important. And then you can notice again here that it's kind of sideways again now. And once you've recognized the game well, you can't really see everything clearly right now. What the market makers are doing, but generally we could assume that either liquidity will be picked up down here again for a short while, or we might see a nice rise first. That way we can kick all the people out of the market and then generally go back down. And this game just keeps going back and forth all the time. And yeah, sure, it's trashy, obviously. But this is about millions, if not billions, or rather it's about billions to solve this right away. Before someone starts hating on me in the comments, by the way, feel free to write something about that. And that's just this game. What's been going on here the whole time? I can only give you the tip to wait and not let yourself get crazy about what's happening here. What's happening right now. Because we have some bullish news coming up here. Be it Trump, be it Gensler going, be it Adkins might be coming, whether it's the entire US government being turned upside down, Musk, which is still in play and so on, just wait a bit. And to wrap it up, I want to show you this again. This is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you can see it here as well. For 43 days, it feels like nothing has been happening with the volume, which you probably noticed as well. The volume hasn't really dropped drastically anymore. In fact, it's gone up. Interestingly, on exactly the 4th, around the 5th November. Man, what happened on the 5th November? If you know, feel free to write it in the comments. Definitely when you see it here, a steep increase in the market cap. And then there was just that drowsy. If we compare this again with the last run, yeah, that was just quick and dirty. So the thing just went like that. Bam, up, down, that's it for today. Now that this cycle is stretching out and there's really a lot of volume being held in it, we might really be talking about a super cycle. And so once again, the earnest request, you're definitely smarter than all those others hopping around out there telling you something. Oh, is the bull run over? No, don't let anyone tell you any nonsense. Not from any trading magazines, news report, or whatever is running around out there. Wait. If you've placed positions, then let them be. But please do your own research too. Just like with coin tips, don't believe everything blindly. Always do your research. No matter if I'm saying something or someone else, never believe it. That's just how it is, because I can be wrong too. I've made mistakes too. Yeah, but I've also done a lot of things right. And above all, I've gathered a lot of experiences in that space. So, as I said, feel free to write in the comments what your opinion on this is. And in conclusion, I can only give you this tip. Check out this video because I talk about exactly that. About my mistakes in 2024 and what you can do better. In that sense, see you in the next video tomorrow. There will probably be a Ripple update again. In that sense, see you tomorrow. Bye.